Welcome to the deep dive. So today we're doing a deep dive into domains and the ecosystem. This isn't really about reviewing some hot new application. It's more about understanding the underlying structure of a truly open source digital infrastructure.
Which is a very different way of looking at things.
It is, from an architect who became a product designer. The consensus seems to be you have to think like a builder to get it.
Exactly. The focus has to be on the blueprint, the structure, not just the code.
So let's start there. When you say domain, most people think of a website.
Right, a regular.com or something, but it uses a shared data ontology.
Ontology, so like a single consistent blueprint for how all the data is organized.
That's it. It's that structure that allows for things like inheritance and true ownership. It's not random.
Okay, let's use the analogy of the ever-branching tree.
It's the perfect way to visualize the logic. So you start with the trunk of the tree.
Core.
The absolute core. It
Yeah.
defines the essential protocol properties. Things like every real-world asset domain must include ownership credentials, the fundamentals.
And then moving out from there, you have the thick branches. These are the categories.
Yeah, a category like electric vehicles.
Yeah.
And that branch adds its own required data fields, things that are only relevant to cars.
Like a VIN number or mileage standards.
Precisely. And then the smaller branches, those are your individual assets.
Yeah.
So a specific Tesla Model 3 domain, it automatically inherits every single rule from the electric vehicle branch.
And all the way back to the core protocol trunk.
All the way back.
And here's the payoff for you, right? If experts decide a new data field is needed, say a standard for battery health, they just update that electric vehicle branch once, and then every single EV domain on the entire network just instantly inherits that new requirement.
It's automatic. It guarantees consistency. You don't need some massive manual migration.
So what do these domains actually hold? They're not just like filing cabinets for data.
No, not at all. Think of them as dynamic, secure workspaces. They have properties, documents, permissions, even social stuff like built-in chat rooms.
Okay, and they have accounts that can store value too, like crypto tokens.
Yes, every domain has an account for that.
And it's all decentralized. This is a key point. This data isn't owned by a central company.
Absolutely not. The assets and documents are linked via blockchain accounts, but the collaboration, the activity, that's all handled by the Matrix protocol.
Which is basically a secure, decentralized way to store events.
You can just think of it that way, yeah. It keeps all the history and collaboration secure within your domain, and it's all locked by your crypto key.
So the user experience, what does it feel like?
It feels a bit like a really customized Slack or maybe a Notion workspace. You can browse content, of course.
But you also interact. You collaborate, you chat, you make decisions. And you mentioned managing value.
Directly from the integrated account. But maybe the most important action is executing flows.
Right. The flows. These are the blueprints for work.
That's a great way to put it. For that electric car, a flow would be the structured, step-by-step process for claiming a carbon credit. It's all pre-built logic.
Okay, now for what I thought was the most compelling part, bringing in AI.
This is where it gets really interesting. Because that data structure, that shared ontology, is so predictable.
The AI can understand it.
It doesn't just read the data. It understands the relationships. So an AI agent can participate just like a human. It can chat with you. It can execute a flow.
It could complete tasks based on whatever permissions you give it.
Exactly. And because it knows what a claim is or what an asset is by definition, it doesn't need you to build a custom dashboard.
Ah, so it can just generate a chart or a report on the fly.
On the fly. The structure lets the AI infer what you need without being programmed for every single task. It's a game changer.
And this all ties back to the open source freedom of it all.
It does. If you don't like the user interface or how you navigate things, well, you're totally free to build your own.
Right on top of that same data structure.
Right. You could have a super manual setup or one that's driven entirely by AI. Your choice.
So let's leave you with this final thought. Just consider the implication of a world built like this, with this kind of architecture. It's not just that the data rules are consistent everywhere you go. It's that the entire user interface, the very way you experience that data, can be custom built by the participants themselves. Imagine a system where everything you log into is already perfectly tailored to what you need to do.
That's the real power.
That's the power of focusing on structure.